And welcome back to another edition of the Rally Cat Podcast. I'm Zach Freeze, alongside my partner, my cohort, my fellow baseball and football lover, Elliot Rearing, on this glorious Wednesday night / Thursday morning. Elliot, the Reds decided to add to their super team for 2023. Richie Martin and Alex Young, welcome to the team via minor league deals. How we feeling? Big
Great.
Reds news. We open with
Good.
the Reds.
Yep. Good for us. I'm happy for us. I'm
Mm-hmm.
really happy. I'm proud of us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Everything's gone according to plan since the Castellinis have taken the team. They have brought championship baseball back. Who are the names you just said?
Richie Martin, shortstop,
Yep.
and Alex Young, a lefty out of the pen. He was real good last year.
Good. Good for
Yeah.
him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there it is. That's the championship baseball. It's back.
Yeah.
The only team since 2000 without a
We're
playoff series win. Little
we're
fun
not
fact.
gonna bury the lead. I mean, the the luncheon or whatever was had on Sunday, the Rosy Red luncheon. Phil Castellini spoke. I don't know why he spoke. I don't know what the Reds letting him speak is just mind-boggling. It's crazy. After he should be never allowed to speak after just from a PR standpoint. There's absolutely no benefit to letting him speak, yet he continues to speak, talking about just nonsense. We saw a graph there about it's okay to the Reds aren't going to be competitive because half the league isn't going to be competitive by opening day, according to Fangraphs, and which Fangraphs has refuted that as which it's inaccurate according to Fangraphs. They've come out and said. So that's exciting and fun. That's great. Also, I don't know if you heard the Reds now operating as a nonprofit,
Yeah.
according to
So
Phil Castellani.
Yeah, so here's the issue. The Reds have been a joke for 20 years. They will continue to be a joke under the Castellini management group, the core, whatever they call themselves, the posse. Um, this sucks. I mean, there's for them to have their little Sunday brunch where he makes a second grade PowerPoint presentation about how all the teams are bad, no one's good. You only have like three teams that are good. So we're just like everybody else. We're just bad. We're not competitive. No, Phil, you're wrong, buddy. Buddy. I mean, it's terrible. I don't understand how anybody allowed him to do that. I thought it was a joke. When I first saw it on Twitter, I thought it was an honest to God joke. It's not. The Castellinis are out there fully believing in their lunacy. I mean, they're crazy people. These are people who are crazy. I don't know what else to say. I truly they show this PowerPoint presentation. All the teams are eliminated before the season. What are you talking about? What do you do? The Royals won a World Series, bro. The Royals don't have money. They did it. Why can nobody else do it? And here you go, present that, we're here for the community. We're just the community mascot. What are you talking about? I mean, I can't fathom truly what the rationale is behind owning this team, because it's not to make money anymore. It's a nonprofit.
No,
So what are you doing? What are you here for? I don't get it.
it's a
I don't
nonprofit.
understand.
It's a nonprofit. You don't like the guaranteed money. You're not making any money, right? So sell. You don't make money. You're poor. The Reds are broke. We have no money. So sell. Sell the team. You
Sell the
don't
team.
have money. You're broke.
It's a
You don't get
nonprofit. It's a charity.
you
It's a
don't get
charity.
60 million dollars before a ticket or a hat or a beer or a pizza or Elliot's 3-inch hot dog is sold. You get zero, right? Or do you get 60 million and you're poor? How does this work? You're
Yeah.
broke, cry poor, then sell. How about we do that? It's
How
not
are there?
you're not making money, then sell.
I I don't know how there's still positive Reds fans out there. I don't know how I don't know how you go into this season. I don't know how you look at our prospects. I don't know how you do anything. I don't know how you exist as a positive Reds fan. I'm a Reds fan. The Reds have been my favorite team. They will always be my favorite team.
Yeah.
But this is dead. This season's dead. Next season's dead. And every season from here on out until those people, whatever they call themselves, are gone. That's it. There's no more anymore. They're a nonprofit organization who's eliminated themselves before each season for God knows how long. They wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, we're eliminated." 4 months from the season, nope. Why would what are you doing? What's wrong with you? I don't get it. I don't get it. The city deserves more. Major League Baseball deserves more. I mean, you're talking about a sport that a lot of people have lost interest in. I mean, that's not a surprise, right? That's not like a shocking revelation.
Yeah.
And now you're gonna present a little PowerPoint presentation during Sunday brunch that all the teams are gone and trashed and eliminated. What are you doing? How is this not a punishable offense? Because it's borderline, and I hate to say it, it's borderline like you're openly tanking. And you're calling everybody out, calling everybody else out for openly tanking. Are the other managers going to stand, or other owners going to stand by this? I'm not. I don't want to. So what are we
Because
doing? What are we doing?
it's okay to be bad. It's okay to be bad because the Pirates owner is bad and the A's owner is bad. That's what he says.
Well, here's the
Yeah,
crazy
those are
part.
bad owners. Try not to be like the Pirates. How's that?
Here's the craziest part. They're better owners than the Castellinis. That's the sad part. He's going to call out every bad owner. You're one of them. You're the bottom, pal. You're the very bottom. You're the worst. You are the bottom of the barrel. I don't understand how he's allowed to own the team. I don't know how I don't know how to get into it. I mean, I know there's a lot of shares presented. It's not just the Castellinis. It's about 100 million people that have shares in this team. But I mean, they have to sell the team. It's a nonprofit and the team's eliminated before the season. Sell it. Give it to somebody else. It's a charity. Donate it. Donate the team. I don't understand.
Yeah. We need the Bears.
The Bengals were the biggest joke in sports. One of them. They were, truthfully. The Bengals are one of the biggest jokes in sports. They have turned it around in a year. They turned it around within a year. You've had 20 years. You've gotten progressively worse over your 20-year period. I have no doubt that we will trade Jonathan India. I have no doubt in my mind we will trade Tyler Stevenson. And when Ellie De La Cruz comes up here and he's a star, they will trade him. And they will trade and trade and trade and trade. Every prospect you want, they will be traded. They will not sign a contract. They will be traded for more prospects. Those prospects will come up. They will be stars. They will be traded. We will sign nobody any longer. Clearly, they got offended when they signed Votto. The Mike Moustakas thing, they probably, I don't know how they probably wanted to, like, I don't know what they wanted to do after this disaster with Mike Moustakas. They'll never sign a player again. So if you're going to do this, donate the team, make it a nonprofit. All the $10 hot dogs, you can sell all of them. Sell all the $10 hot dogs in the world, donate it to a charity, and sell the team. Please donate it. Get rid of it. Toss it aside. It's a nonprofit. It'll never win under you. Sorry. Reds fans, a little news flash for you. You will never see a World Series under this management group. Ever. 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 There is no hope. There is no 2027. There is no 2038. There is no 2052. It is done. It is over. You lose. Sorry. And that's not for me, by the way. That's not my opinion. That's his opinion. The season's over. The season's over before it started. It's over. Next year, over. All the teams are eliminated right before they start. Gone. Done. See ya. That's not me. That's him. He presented it on his PowerPoint at Sunday brunch with the Rosy Reds. I don't know what the Rosy Reds are, but clearly it's a formal event for Sunday at brunch where he can present PowerPoint presentations. It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. When I lay in my bed and I thought, when we traded Suarez, okay, I get it. He hasn't been producing. It's a good move. It's a fine move. I can live with it. Jesse Winker gets sold. All right, we're thinking about the future. We're going to give up on this year. It's about the future. Sonny Gray, Wade Miley, Tucker Barnhart. You don't want to pay them. They're aging. They're not going to give you as much. We'll focus on the future. I believe it. But now you're saying the seasons don't matter. So what are we doing? Zach, what are we doing?
We need the pairs to save the city.
Cincinnati Bears.
Cincinnati Bears.
I got my costume already picked out.
I'd love to. I mean, I'd love to chat about this, but we only got so much time, and I mean, we had to talk about it at some point because it happened. And it's real. It's sad. You think I want to talk? I don't want to talk about this. We have to talk about it. It's just this is what happened.
How do you go into how do we go into this season? He's already eliminated us.
We're eliminated. It's okay to be trash.
Bill Castellini has eliminated the Cincinnati Reds from postseason contention. What month? What's the day, Zach?
January 19th.
January 19th. Season starts. How many months, Zach?
3.
We're eliminated. What?
Season's over.
What are we doing? What are we doing? What are you doing? Not what are we doing? What are you doing? This franchise shouldn't have to deal with this shit. The fan base here shouldn't have to deal with this. You see what the Bengals do? You got 100,000 people in the banks for a playoff game. All those 100,000, believe it or not, Philly, they will go right to you on those, and it'll be a series. It'll be 7 days. 7 days of 100,000 people down at the banks. And when you win that series, you get to do it again. And you get to keep doing it until the World Series. And then you get to have a parade. All those people paying for hot dogs, paying for God knows what else, kettle corn, the $30 bag of kettle corn, the $24 slushy you sell. You get to pocket that money in your cash. That's yours. You get it. But no, team's eliminated. It's a charity organization, and we get nothing. Zach, how about the Bengals?
How about the Bengals? It can't be all down and depressing this episode. Bengals won in the wild card weekend over the Ravens.
Yes, they did.
24-17. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't great. But you know what? It doesn't matter. You win in the playoffs, survive in advance. That's all that matters. And what we have is a Sam Hubbard play, but really a Logan Wilson play and a Sam Hubbard play that'll go down in Bengals lore forever as one of the most noteworthy plays. The whatever you want to call it, fumble in the jungle. I don't care. 98 yards, touchdown. Bengals look like they were on the ropes. I mean, let's just be honest. 17 all. Ravens are moving it. They got it inside the 3. And Huntley's a 0.5 yards away from half a yard away from scoring. Logan Wilson punches it out. And Hubbard goes 98 yards.
Yep.
Big play. Big win. And now we get to play Buffalo. But unfortunately, I think, Elliot, we have to travel to Buffalo. So
yeah, I was wrong. Sorry. Everybody made fun of me. Everybody made fun of me. That's fine. I thought there was a chance. I was wrong, clearly. I
was holding out hope.
I thought there was more kindness in the world. Whatever. That's my bad. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. I just think the world's a better place than it is. That's my bad. Yeah, the game was ugly. It was a bad game, I'd say. It was one of our worst offensive games of the season. Maybe, I mean, the second worst, probably, right? And Zach is okay, so this is gonna be Zach is chugging. What is that? Is that her? That's her. That's the most disgusting thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's strong. That's double chocolate.
That's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. I mean, that was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
Thirsty? Kind of just like chocolate milk. It's like a strong.
Did you go to the store just for that bit?
No. I would never. Kidding me? I love my chocolate syrup.
This is a show of bits now. So Zach's gonna just come in here and he's gonna eat the most disgusting thing right in my face, and he's gonna make me laugh. All right, I like it. I mean, that was outrageous. Why would you do that? I can't imagine what your teeth look like. Yikes! All right. Yeah, I mean, where do I go from here? The game was bad. Jamar Chase, thank God for him.
Oh yeah,
he carries our offense at this point. Him and Burrow. Higgins is good, but he can get locked down. Hurst was very good as well, other than a fumble.
Other than the fumble. Yeah.
Defense again. Defense has been the story all year. We've been underrated. We have no what is it? We have no all Pro Bowlers, right? Is that it?
No, yeah, no Pro Bowlers. Or no, yeah,
Uh,
no All Pro. Their Pro
no
Bowls
All
can't
Pros.
Pro Bowls
Sorry.
canceled, but the All Pro, we didn't have anybody on the All Pro, which was shocking to me. I don't know.
Yeah, the defense has been unbelievable. How many points did we allow in the second half there? A touchdown. That's it.
Yeah,
Yep.
just 7
One defensive miscue. That
by
was one
Apple.
Eli Apple miscue, where one of their zero receivers, Demarcus Robinson, broke free for a touchdown. Other than that, I mean, I had a lot of doubt. I was very scared. But when any game in the playoffs, you saw it with the Bills and the Dolphins, and I guess we'll talk about it a little bit later. I mean, these games aren't easy to win. It's a dogfight every single game. NFL, any given Sunday. And we fought our asses off. We got the win. We get home. We go home. We get to move on to Buffalo.
Yeah.
And especially when it's a division game, a divisional playoff game, those games aren't easy. It's never easy. It doesn't matter who's the quarterback. And we got through it. Good job for the Bengals. Good job all around.
Yeah, and Baltimore's defense is pretty good. I mean, they're I believe third in scoring, and they're really good on third down, and they stop their run, which you know, it wasn't a great showing offensively. But man, Baltimore, credit them. I mean, they took, they took the deep ball away. They weren't going to get beat down the field. And they didn't. And we had to kind of, grind our way through it. But I mean, the one thing, running the ball, we haven't run the ball well. Only, I believe, 39 yards from Mixon. We got to be able to run the ball more effectively.
Yep.
But I in a way, I'm Buffalo's defense has not been stout really.
No.
As of late, especially. I mean, they've been good on the season, but according to the numbers, but they weren't very good the last 2 weeks. Skylar Thompson's horrific. Somehow they put up, I guess, 24 points or whatever. I mean, one of the touchdowns was a defensive touchdown, but
well, that's another big part of it is that they're going to turn the ball over probably twice in that game.
Yeah.
So you got to take advantage of it and you go. But yeah, their defense hasn't been great. It certainly is capable of being good, but ours has been, I would argue, better on the year. Certainly more consistent on the year. No.
Yeah, I think the Bills. I think their defense is fine, but it's not. I fear the Ravens' defense more because they don't have Von Miller's out. They've had other injuries. I know Jordan Poyer has kind of been nicked up. Micah Hyde's out, I think. So they've had quite a few injuries. So that's where I think where it shows. Maybe it's not like recently they haven't been quite as good. So I know the spread right now is 5.5 for the game. Bills are a 5.5 point favorite. Where do you stand on this one?
I think it's gonna be closer than that. If I were a betting man, and I am, I don't know if I can bet on the Bengals because if I do, they'll lose and they'll lose hard. But I do think the Bengals cover that number. I think that's a disrespectful number, if I'm being completely honest. You saw what we did, and I mean, I know everybody makes fun of it that we beat them in the first 4 minutes of that game, but we did look good, and that was our offense. And I do think that I truly believe we are more talented than that team. I truly believe it. I truly believe we are a better overall team than the Buffalo Bills. I believe we're a better team than the Kansas City Chiefs. The only team I don't think we're better than is the 49ers, and that's only because of their defense and skill positions. Their quarterback is still worse than ours, but we're on the Bills. Sorry, off track. I think the Bills are very good. I think we're going to cover that number. I think we lose, or excuse me, I think we certainly come within 3 of that number.
I'd feel fantastic at 5.5.
Yep.
One real quick thing about the Monday night game and that thing. I don't like the and I don't want to call out like people, but like I know McAfee was talking about it and other people have said, well, yeah, don't you know the Bengals, they won. No one's ever come back from down 7-3. I don't sure. Could the Bills have won that game? Okay. Maybe they could have, but also, the Bengals I mean, they had an opportunity. They were on their home field. I don't know. The stadium was buzzing. The offense was rolling. Look, gun to my head in that game, and I think gun to most people's heads, who are you picking to win that game? Probably the Bengals. But that's okay to say. Like, you don't have to be the biggest homer in the world either way. Like,
And they
I
just
don't know.
lost
I
another.
think the
They
Bengals.
lost.
I
They
think we
lost.
would
They
have
had
had
two
a good.
guys go out.
I think we would have had a good chance of winning the game. I'm not say the game wasn't over, but I think you'd be. Yeah, I don't know. I think you'd be kidding yourself to think like, oh, don't you know that oh, clearly, just like I don't like the Bengals the talk about like, oh well, the Bengals fans have been cocky about like, oh they definitely would have won. No, I'm not saying like, oh we definitely would have won, but hurt didn't sucks we didn't get an opportunity. I don't know. I would have liked our chances personally. Just watching the first two drives, and I don't know, being at home, it's all moot now. It doesn't matter, but I don't know. Maybe our offense looked like that, and it was two drives, but I don't know. I like the look of that. Let's do more of that.
Yep.
Can I get a little more of that? And that's why I don't know. At 5.5, I love the Bengals at 5.5. I'm not saying like I'd love it. Now, if it gets down to 3.5, I'm not as crazy about it. But I'm gonna make my pick now. I'm gonna pick the Bengals to win the game.
Whoa.
Bengals win the game.
Whoa.
They win the
Whoa. Hey
game.
ho. Ho.
28 28-27, we
Little maybe
win.
too much chocolate sauce for you, big
No,
guy.
absolutely not. 28-27. I think we win the game. Like you said, Josh Allen's been turnover prone. Um, I think their defense has been shaky at times. We got to worry about the O-line. I know we didn't talk too much about it. As we're down another O-lineman. Jonah Williams went out, and he's not going to play. That's a concern. That's a legitimate concern. But I'll also argue, hell, we made it to the Super Bowl with worse. I think. I mean,
Yep.
it's not a good O-line right now, as it's currently constructed, and they need Jackson Carman to step up and different guys to step up. But I think we've made it to the Super Bowl with worse. I still think we can win despite the offensive line being banged up. I think we're going to win 28-27.
I like the take. I don't like the take. I love the take.
Hmm.
A good take. Um, I think we win the game. I do. I'm nervous. I'm very nervous, but I think we win the game. It's a tough place to play. I hear there's snow moving in.
Yeah.
I think we will. I think the defense will keep it low. I think we need to keep them with under the 4 touchdown margin, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that happens, we'll win this game. We'll win this game. Don't turn the ball over. Don't turn the ball over. I want to be +2 in the turnover battle, and I think we will be in this game. I would say we win 31-20, 31-30, 31-30,
Wow.
and it's going to be McPherson walk off. Book it.
Wow. He's a guy that
Yeah, but
has been shaky.
McPherson's been bad. But Clutch
Redemption.
McPherson, Clutch McPherson. I still got to believe in him.
Redemption.
Redemption.
He can redeem himself.
It'll be a 50-yard walk-off for McPherson.
So that was, that's Bengals Bills.
Yeah, I am a little bit. James Cook has been very good for them. James Cook has been running. We have not defended the run well. If you're gonna criticize the defense, we have been bad against the run.
Right.
So that is something to worry about. Excuse me. Devin Singletary hasn't been great, but inside the red zone, those guys can all rush. Allen rushes for 50 yards a game, so that's something we got to control. But receiving wise, I don't think Dawson Knox doesn't turn the needle. He'll catch 2 passes for 20 yards in that game. You'll have to watch Gabriel Davis. He's a boomer bust receiver. He'll either have 4 catches for 100 yards or he'll have 2 catches for 10 yards. So watch Gabriel Davis. Stephon Diggs, he's going to have a good game. Keep the game within 4 touchdowns for them. We're going to win this game.
Super wild card weekend. We had quite a few solid games. We had Jags with an epic comeback down 27-0. They won 31-30. What a preposterous game. I mean, that terrible loss for the Chargers. Credit the Jags, but really, I mean, the Chargers, oh God. Oh, how do you lose that?
Yeah, it's a tough one. That's a tough one.
And
Uh, there's no Brandon Staley should be fired. That's
yeah, I was
that's
gonna
it.
say.
He's gone. See ya. Bye bye. I think they're gonna keep him actually because nobody cares about that franchise. They have no fans and they have nothing. But he should be fired. Inexcusable. 27-0. I think they ran the ball 8 times in the second half. Yikes.
Hmm.
See ya.
Yeah,
Be a
really
problem.
terrible. It was a terrible loss.
And to be
With
honest, and to be honest, I think the better team won. I think the Jaguars are a better team
problem.
than that. I
I think so too, honestly.
I haven't bought in on the Chargers all year. Are they scary on paper? Sure. Justin Herbert, Bosa, they have guys, but no. When you if you have a really bad coach, you're not going to win in this league. Not going to
Um,
happen.
yeah, so Bills, Dolphins kind of touched on that briefly. Bills got everything they could have, really. I mean, Dolphins gave them problems and had a lead in the second half at one point. I mean, it came down to just the Dolphins' ineptitude, really. Skylar Thompson, I mean, it was a rough day at the office. 18 to 45. They couldn't snap the ball in time.
No.
They were getting out of the huddle with 3 seconds. Just kind of a mess. And so I think some of that falls on McDaniel, to be fair to Skylar Thompson. So the Bills survived. The Giants upset the Vikings. The fraud Vikings lose. I thought the Vikings were going to win this game coming in. I was proved wrong. Danny Dimes. How about Danny Dimes? We got to give him credit. He deserves a
Guy.
lot of credit.
He's the guy.
And yeah, they're a fool for. They're looking back now. The front office a fool for not giving him that 5th year. So he's a free agent technically. I'm sure he'll get extended.
I hate
So
he
credit to
doesn't
them.
have the arm he doesn't have the arm of Josh Allen, but he reminds me of Josh Allen and he can just make things happen.
That's what Bill Simmons was saying. He's kind of like he's been similar to Josh Allen was last year in a lot of ways. That the running ability, not turning the ball over, and Brian Dable, a lot of credit to him. He's um, obviously changed the culture big time in New York. Talked about the Bengals, obviously, and then the other two
Is he
games
your
we
coach?
didn't.
Is he your coach of the year, by the way, Dabble?
I would probably. That's a great question. Yeah, he might be. I think
I'm
it's.
trying to
I mean,
maybe Pete Carroll, maybe Sirianni.
I mean, you could think about Shanahan just because of. I mean, they're
The
on their
injuries.
third string quarterback.
Yep.
He could. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he won. Sirianni, maybe. You could make a case for multiple guys, but Dabble definitely in the mix for that. And the last 2 games were horrible, not horrible, but the Niners game wasn't horrible, at least in the first half. But they're just, I don't know. Niners look good. They look strong, especially in the second half. I mean, they just dominate the second half of that game. Brock Purdy looks good. I mean, he's Mr. Irrelevant. He looks decent. Like
Yep.
not a bad quarterback. And it's crazy. We talk about, Skylar Thompson looked unprepared, and he's a third string quarterback. So, I mean, what can you expect? He looks unprepared, and the coaches, it looks just like a mess. And Shanahan, it's just like cool, calm, collected. It's Brock Purdy. Like, you wouldn't know he's a 7th round pick. He just looks, part of that's on Brock Purdy. A lot of that's probably on Shanahan. A lot of credit to them. McCaffrey's a monster. We know their defense is good. They're dangerous. I mean, that's a team that in the Super Bowl, I don't know. I think it'd be a hell of a if we faced up against them. I would think I would want to face them the least. I don't know how you feel, but out of anybody in the
Yeah,
NFC
they're my number one. I think the Cowboys are my number two.
and the
Uh,
Cowboys, yeah, Cowboys
Cowboys are Cowboys are scary if they're on. If Dak Prescott is on, they're a scary team.
and Dak was on Monday night.
Correct. Was Tom
Bucks,
Brady? Was
no,
Tom
it was
Brady?
horrible. It was so bad, so hard to watch. They threw it. The Tampa threw it 66 times. I know they were down, but that's just crazy. Um, Yeah, that did them in. Tampa having no running game, really the story of their season. They had 0 running game.
Yep.
And Dallas just down. I mean, they dominated the game. There's not a whole lot to say. It was an ass whooping.
Mm.
Every 6 ways to Sunday. There's not quite much. There's not much really you can say. And I thought Tampa was going to win. I let the Cowboys thing, their playoff choker is, but they were clearly the better team.
Yep.
They were all year the better team. Somehow the Bucks beat them in week 1. I guess because Dak went down, obviously had something to do with it. But maybe the end for Tom Brady. I don't think it is, if I'm
It's
being
absolutely
honest.
not.
You don't
Absolutely
think
not.
so? I don't think so either. I know there's
Nope.
questions, and but Dallas, they proved me wrong. I hand up, I was wrong. I came in here tooting the horn of Bucks money line. Dallas kicked their ass. So
I will say this though, if we were to play them, battle of the yips between Brett Mayer and
yeah,
McPherson.
Maher
Battle of the
missed
yips there.
4 extra points in that game.
4 in a row. 4 in a row. Credit to
Um,
him.
so that sets up. We got 4 games, divisional weekend. We'll close with. Um, I don't know if you want to. Do you want to pick every game? Do you just want to give
Yeah, we'll
game?
pick every game. We'll pick every game.
Okay, all right.
I'll go
Go ahead.
first. Want me to go first?
Sure.
I'm going to take the Jaguars plus 8.5 against the Chiefs. The Chiefs do not cover big numbers. I
Okay.
think the game is going to be very close. And to be quite honest, I think there's a significant chance the Jaguars win that game. I think there is a very good chance. The Chiefs have not been good lately. They've been making every game close. Texans, it was close. I mean, every game's close. So I'll take the Jags certainly with the spread, and I'm going to take the over 53 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Giants Eagles. I'm going to take the Eagles to win, but the Giants to cover. It's a close game. Again, I'm going to go over 48. I think it's a lot of points, a lot of play. That's probably going to be my game of the weekend, honestly. After that, we have the Bengals Bills. I guess I'll save that for last. 49ers Cowboys on Sunday night. I'm going to take the 49ers, but that is going to be a really awesome game. I think the 49ers barely beat them out. A Robbie Gould field goal probably to win it. I'll take the under in that game, 46. Bengals Bills. I'm going to take Bengals plus 5.5. I think the Bengals win narrowly. I'm going to take the over 48 as well.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think all these games are going to be close, actually. I know some of them on paper you might think could get out of hand, but I'm with you. I think Jags Chiefs is better than people think. Trevor Lawrence was horrible in the first half. But in the second half, he came back. He was really good. I think they're gonna be able to move the ball, keep it tight. I think the Chiefs are gonna win 27-23, something like that. So close to the number. I think probably under, but Jags cover. Giants again. I think they're gonna give the Eagles fits. We saw they gave them fits back in, was that one of the last weeks of the regular season? It was the last week of the regular season. And I know, I don't know how much you can take from that, but I like the Giants to hang around. I'm going to slightly give the Eagles an edge, 23-19, but I could see that game being close. I guess I like the under. Bengals I talked about, 28-27. I don't know. I believe. I think this offense is. I think the Bills' defense is susceptible. I think they're turnover, and then on offense, the Bills are turnover prone. So give me the Bengals, and then I'm going to take the Niners. I think it's going to be a close game. I will take the Niners to cover. Like you said, I don't know, probably a low scoring game. 23-17. I'll take San Francisco. But like you said, I Dallas is going to be around. I think all these games. I don't think any of these games are going to be blowouts. I don't. I think we got 4 pretty competitive games, and I'm looking forward to it.
So am I. And that's it. That's what we got. Thank you for listening.
You don't have anything else to say in the last minute and a half? We got 90 seconds. If there's a quick, you got a quick take rant.
I got all my anger out.
Yeah.
I'm sure video clip Zach will get a couple of these in for us.
Yeah. I'll need to do that. But
yeah. I'm excited. We got the Bengals. Rally Cap football. It could be our last Rally Cap, second to last Rally Cap football episode. And then we would have the misery that is the Cincinnati Reds.
Don't say that. It's not over. We can win.
Well, not according to our owner who buys the players. He says we're eliminated. It's over.
Yeah, the Reds are dead. That season's over. But anyway, appreciate everybody for listening. And as always, love you guys.